Be aware, Uber is changing the surge maps and the heat maps. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to the Rideshare Guy. And that's right, Uber is changing the surge maps and the heat maps. Now, if you're not familiar, when you open up your app, the heat map is those gray clouds that show the little up arrows, and that basically tells you if it's busy or not. But at the Rideshare Guy, Sergio and myself like to call it the gray clouds of doom because it makes it seem like it's busy, even though you go there, there's no surge attached, and you may not get any rides anyway. Now, also, if you look at the surge maps, that you get the red, the yellow, the orange, and you get the dollar attached to it, right? Well, not anymore. They're changing it. And you need to be aware of this change because if you look at it from just a surface level, it's going to look really nice. But in fact, there's nothing really changing except for the colors of the map. So you need to be aware of this change because the surge map is changing, or the surge map colors is changing to the heat map colors. So instead of the gray clouds of doom, you're going to see the yellows and the oranges and the reds. And the surge maps, you're going to see the purples and pinks. Pretty interesting, huh? Yes, they're changing this map. So I'm going to show you exactly what is the change, and I'm going to tell you my thoughts on why I think they're changing it. So let's get right into what the changes are. So what you can see on the screen is it's going to show you the different colors. So it starts off on the right, the yellow, then it goes to the orange, the red, what we loved about Surge, right? And then it goes to pinks and purples with the Surge dollar amount. So this was from Sergio's app, and it says, "Hey, Sergio, we're piloting updates to the heat map with new colors and arrows to help you find surge and other high demand areas." Then it goes on to saying, "You are going to see surge amounts that would be added to your fare if you receive a trip in that area. The darker the purple, the higher the earnings potential." And then it shows the wait times are color coded. So this is the change. The heat map used to be the gray clouds, the different grays and blues and gradients in there. Now they're changing it to the orange, yellow, and red. What was the surge colors just before this change? So wait times are color coded. Colors show where drivers have been experiencing shortest wait times in red, then orange, then yellow. In color coded areas, drivers are earning higher than average compared to other parts of the city. Again, that is what you have been seeing when it comes to the heat maps with the gray clouds of doom. They're changing the colors. Are you picking up on something? I'll tell you exactly what that is in just a minute. But when it goes to the surge and what the surge is going to look like, so surge is going to be now shown in purple with the dollar values. So you're going to see the surge amounts that would be added to your fare if you receive a trip in that area. The darker the purple, the higher the earnings potential. So it's going to start off like pinks and then go into purples. And deep, deep purple is going to be higher surge. And just like the old heat maps, if you tap the icons for the details to navigate there as well, so you can tap them and estimated arrival times to help you decide whether an area is worth driving to. Now, take note, I'll let you pause and read below when it comes to the disclaimer that they have, because it's quite a amount, but yeah, what that is going to give you a little bit more information, how the heat maps are and how surge is a little bit. So those are the changes of what it's going to look like. Again, this is a pilot though, so it's not in every market. You may not see it, but I have a feeling I think this is going to be rolling out to different markets unless people say exactly what they think. And this is my turn for what I think these changes are for. Notice how they changed the gray clouds of doom to the original surge colors that we've known for several years. Basically, when I started driving back in 2016, that was the colors all the way through to now. You had the yellows and the oranges and the reds. It was bleeding red. We loved it. When you had high surge amounts, it was red all over the city. It was lit up like a Christmas tree. We enjoyed that. And that's what we knew surge was to be. But the average person, they don't watch the Rideshare Guy, which I don't know why. They should, because they're going to earn more. So you're one step ahead of everybody. But what ends up happening is it's going to be a game that they're playing. They're tricking you into thinking, oh, it's going to be really busy out there. I open up my app. We've associated these colors with surge and high surge zones or making extra money or busier because of these colors. So now after 10 plus years, they are changing this into what we are currently seeing was the heat map. So the colors of surge are now changing the heat map. Again, a driver that just opens the app is going to say, holy crap, it's really busy out there. These colors are showing. It's a trick. It's a mind trick, in my opinion. And this is something that Surge is also changing, because it's changing to the pinks and the purples. It's going to disassociate now when it comes to that. So yeah, I think that they are doing this to play another game. It's more gamification along everything, and it's to try to make you think that it's busier than what it is, because all they're doing is changing the heat map color to the original Surge colors, and then the Surge colors are being changed to these pinks and purples. So again, I think it's a game. Stay ahead of it, though, if you have this pilot in your area, or if you see this rolling out in your area. Make sure you note the changes. Make sure when you look at your maps, if you're going to go out or choosing to go out, you look at it and it says these yellows and oranges and purples with the change. Just know, again, it's the Great Clouds of Doom in new color form, and the Surge, you have to look for the pinks and purples. So yeah, it's definitely a big change. I think it's a game. I think it's a trick that they're trying to play on you, and they're trying to make it seem like it is busier than what it is, especially for those drivers who aren't watching the Rideshare Guy, who aren't seeing what's going on. They're just going to open up their apps. They're going to say, holy crap, it's really busy out here. I got to go online. I got to take advantage of this. Lo and behold, it's the exact same thing as the heat maps and the Surge maps beforehand, just with different colors. So again, like I say, I think this is a trick on Uber's part to try to make it seem like it's busier or more anticipation for you to get on the app and stay on the app longer. But I want to know, what are your thoughts on these changes? Do you like these changes? Do you think that the Great Clouds of Doom should become the new Surge colors, essentially, with the oranges and the yellows and the reds, and then Surge should become purple and pink to kind of help it? But I want to know what you think. So make sure you put it in the comments below.